Hola muchachos, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes. Aquí tienen las instrucciones a la actividad ¿Y tú qué dices? A página 218. Here are your instructions for your homework ¿Y tú qué dices? En la página 218. You have 3 questions to answer. There are sub-questions for each, and I'm going to walk you through what the questions are asking, and then how you can go about beginning your responses, and then using the key vocabulary from this chapter, pages 212 and 213, to come up with your own authentic responses. Okay, so número 1. Por lo general, ¿qué les dices a los padres de un bebé que nació recientemente? What do you say to the parents of a baby that was recently born? How do you congratulate the parents of a newborn child? If you look in your key vocabulary for page 212, 213, or the back of the chapter, which I believe is page 236, or if you guys look in Quizlet, where you guys have all the key vocabulary for chapter 4b, and actually it's page 234, forgive me, at the very end of the chapter. So what phrase or expression would we say en español a los padres de un bebé que nació recientemente? You want to begin with the yo form of the verb decir. This is the verb decir, the verb to say. And you want to begin with the yo form of that verb, which is yo digo, D-I-G-O. Yo digo y la frase, ¿cierto? Lo que dicen ustedes a los padres de un bebé que nació recientemente. What would that phrase be? There's no one particular answer, but I think some more common ones. And the second part to this question, ¿qué les regalas? What do you give them as a gift? For a baby shower, for example. Maybe you've never been to a baby shower before, but typically people will give gifts, something that the parents or the baby will need in those first few months. Diapers are a very common gift, for sure. So you can look at the key vocabulary for chapter 4a that we looked at. Maybe some toys. But bottom line, how to begin this response? We want to begin. Hang on here. We want to begin with the yo form of the verb regalar. The verb regalar is to give as a gift. So you would respond by saying yo regalo, or yo les regalo. Les is referring to them, a los padres. And then whatever the gift is, right? ¿Qué? ¿Qué les regalas? So running it back, number 1, what do you say to the parents of a newborn to wish them congratulations or good luck? And what do you give as a gift to them, the parents of newborns? Número 2, en tu comunidad, ¿en qué días festivos hay fuegos artificiales? Fuegos artificiales is key vocabulary for this chapter. ¿En qué días festivos hay fuegos artificiales en tu comunidad? In our community, what holidays have fireworks? So, en mi comunidad, that's how you want to begin your response. En mi comunidad hay fuegos artificiales en, and then go ahead and list some of the holidays or celebrations where we have fireworks. En mi comunidad hay fuegos artificiales en, and then list your holidays, your special events, and you can find those if you look at the agenda from last week. There's a list of holidays, typical holidays in Spanish, that I provided you with in the agenda. Second part of number 2, ¿en qué días hay desfiles? Desfiles is another key vocabulary term. That's procession or parade. You're going to begin the same way as you did the first question. En mi comunidad hay desfiles en, and then you're going to list those special occasions. All right, last question, número 3. ¿Cuándo te reúnes con tus parientes? We had a couple key vocabulary terms here. The verb reunir, which is to reunite or get together. And parientes, which is a false cognate. Looks and sounds like parents, but it means relatives. Tíos, primos, abuelos, etc. So when you get together with your family, extended family. And you could respond by using the yo form of this verb, reunir, or you could use the nosotros form of this verb, which again is reunir, but notice it's reflexive, reunirse in the infinitive is a reflexive verb. So we're going to go to page 80 of your textbook to remind ourselves of how we conjugate reflexive verbs. Remember that reflexive verbs are actions that are reciprocal, right? You're doing with a group of people or to one another, a group of people. When we talked about reflexive verbs originally, we were talking about them in the yo form because you were talking about your daily routine, right? Ducharse, cepillarse los dientes, lavarse la cara, vestirse, ¿cierto? So whether you use the yo form or the nosotros form, don't forget about those reflexive pronouns that come at the beginning, right? Reflexive pronouns in Spanish, me, te, se, nos, and se. We're going to go back to page 218. And apply that knowledge here. So you can begin by saying yo me reúno, right? O ending if you're speaking in the yo form. Or nosotros, ¿cierto? Mis parientes y yo, nosotros nos reunimos. Pues ¿cuándo? ¿En los días festivos? ¿En la Navidad? ¿En los cumpleaños? ¿En los veranos? ¿En el Año Nuevo? Pues ¿cuándo? Give us some moments in the year that you guys get together with your family, extended family, or nunca, tal vez nunca, tal vez. Second part to number 3, forgive me, ¿dónde se reúnen ustedes generalmente? So we're using the same verb here, but now we're asking where. Where do you and your family get together generally? So you want to respond in the nosotros form for sure for this one. And you can begin by saying generalmente. Generalmente nos reunimos en casa. Nos reunimos en la casa de mis abuelos. Nos reunimos en la casa de mis tíos. O nos reunimos en un restaurante. Nos reunimos en un parque. A donde sea, ¿cierto? ¿Con quién charlas? This is a key vocabulary term from this chapter. This is the verb charlar. Charlar, kind of a cognate, it means to chat. Who do you chat with? Who do you naturally gravitate to in those family gatherings, right? You have a favorite cousin, aunt or uncle, grandmother, grandfather, or step family member. ¿Con quién? With whom do you chat? So conjugate that in the yo form. Be yo charlo con mi abuela. Yo charlo con mi tío. Yo charlo con mi prima. Now the last question, guys, ¿se llevan todos bien o a veces se llevan mal? Does everybody get together well? Or does everybody get together, or get along, forgive me, not get together. Does everybody get along well? Or do people sometimes not get along well? There's always that dynamic with family where, you know, maybe especially recently, we have our divisions, unfortunately. So you can just take away the punctuation and say, "Se llevan todos bien?" Right? Make it a statement by taking off the punctuation. Take off the question mark. "Se llevan todos bien?" Or you could say, "A veces se llevan mal." Either way, it's up to you. So those are the questions and the ways that you can respond to each of those for the ¿Y tú qué dices? Using the key vocabulary from pages 212, 213 in an authentic context, talking about you and your family's experience.